Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Study the Masters, a YouTube series where we're looking into amazing bass players and their lines, solos and grooves. In today's video we're going to check out Hadrien Feraud, and his solo he played on the tune Happy by Pharrell Williams, and he's playing it in a jam together with Federico Malaman, another great bass player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the transcription I made, and I'm going to go through some lines and explain some stuff, some concepts or scales that he's using. So enjoy the video. Alright, here it goes. Blues. Melodic minor scale here. Nice stuff. The chords are nice as well. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So solo there fades out. I don't know why. This is the only recording that I found of it. I wish it would continue, but that's the only version there is. Let's few things before we start is there's 4 chords in this 4 bars in this chord progression, and it's D flat major, the first one, right? Then it's C minor 7, 1 bar, then 3rd bar again C minor 7, and then we get this F sus resolving to F7. So again, D flat major 7, 1 bar, C minor 7, 1 bar, again C minor 7, 1 bar, and then okay. Now the chords are played by Federico, and he doesn't play them exactly like this. He plays some different stuff. He plays, for example, like this kind of sus sound, and then sometimes, and these are pretty cool chords. Now I'm not gonna talk about them and how to play them. I am gonna make a separate video on these chords that he's playing, so you can see how it's done, how you can play those. But that will be available on my Patreon. So if you want to support my channel and get access to this kind of stuff and all my PDF transcriptions, you can do that there, and you can see all this stuff there. So yeah. Today in this video we're gonna focus more on the Hadrien solo, and few things. He's using a lots of major pentatonic, major blues scale, so it's like a major pentatonic with an added flat 3. So okay. The other thing is he's using melodic minor scale a lot, which is over this C7 altered chord. We will see later. So let's just go through solo, and I will stop more in the beginning because there's some more interesting phrases in the beginning, and yeah, we're gonna go through solo like this. So let's go from the start. Oh man, I love this phrase. It immediately grabs my attention, and this is this major blues scale. So he does this and that's exactly this. A really nice way. And one thing, he often starts his solos with only like 2 notes, like here. Almost as if he's thinking what to do or getting some initial idea and then how to develop it, right? So yeah, let's continue from here. Okay. Now this is such a Hadrien line. So what he does here, the chord you see is C7, flat 10, or maybe you sometimes see C7 sharp 9, probably more often, or C altered. It's a dominant altered chord, or also known as the Jimi Hendrix chord. So basically here you can play altered scale, and that's exactly what he does. And what I like to do is, I think altered scale is just a mode of a melodic minor scale. So altered scale is a 7th degree mode of the melodic minor scale. So if I have C altered, I just think half step higher, melodic minor scale. So C, I go half step high, D flat, okay, it's a D flat melodic minor scale. And here what Hadrien does is he plays this like first like an A flat major triad, enclosing this D flat, and then D flat minor 6 chord, and enclosing the 7 to the 5, 6 to the 4, resolving to this A natural on the F7 chord. So it's also a very typical line that he likes to play. So what I really like is this, he's playing in triplets, and then when he comes to the resolution point on this F7 chord, he slows down, and it gives it a lot of power and momentum like effect. So yeah, let's continue from this point where he resolves it, repeats it. Okay. I promise we're not gonna stop that much later on, but just these few phrases, they're so cool. So this one was really interesting to me here over this chord. So I have written C minor 7 because Federico plays C minor 7 chord, but I think Hadrien Feraud is thinking C7 kind of altered sound, but he's playing a B flat harmonic minor scale over this C7. So you get really interesting notes if you look at it. So if you play B flat harmonic minor over C7, you get well, C, the 1, D flat, the flat 9, you get sharp 9 or flat 10, and then you get this F. So 4, you don't have E natural in a C7. That's the interesting part. You get G flat, a flat 5, A major 6 or 13, and B flat, the minor 7. So you get, so it's very similar to this altered sound, but it's not exactly. It's harmonic minor sound. So right. So he plays like a enclosure down 5 3 2 1 in B flat minor. And then this cliche line that he plays a lot, right? And at that point we get to this F7, so this C, and he plays this, and that's a very known bebop line, one of these cliche lines of Barry Harris that he's using. So yeah, nothing special there. And again, just up this F6 chord, kind of F, using F major blues. And it's such a cool line because like the way he ascends at this insane speed in such a legato way, it just sounds very beautiful. I can't play that fast, but it's just good stuff here. So here, the interesting thing, the using of B flat harmonic minor scale over C7 chord, and then here he's just using this F major blues basically, and F6 chord. So let's go from here. Okay, this is a very typical line that he plays. Okay, just one thing. I'm not gonna go through the whole line here, but one thing with the use of this chromatic stuff that he's doing, so all these kind of things, they serve a purpose of placing your chord tones over the chords on the heavier beats. So either on the downbeat or on the proper 16th note. So let me explain. Maybe it sounds a little bit confusing, but in this case, he's playing 16th notes. So what you want when you play a 16th note line in 4/4, you want your first 16th note and the third 16th note to have like strong chord tones there. So for example, if we have, let's say this D flat major 7 here, what you want on your first note, first 16th note, so this one here, which is a C in our case, to be either 1, 3, 5, or 7, or maybe sometimes 6th as well, depending on the type of the chord. So you don't want to see a chromatic approach note here or like a 4th degree, for example. So for example, here we see a C on the first 16th note, and then on the third we have here E flat, which is also a good one, a 9, and then you get a D flat on the downbeat. Again, that's nice. And then C again on the third one. And here on the first we have B flat, which is the 6th. It's good. And then D flat on the third one. Again, on the first one we have F, the third is great. And A flat on the third 16th notes, which is the 5th of the chord. So the only reason when you put here chromatic notes is to fit this. Because if you wouldn't, if you just could play scale-wise diatonically, it would be all off. So that is also like, I think the essence of the bebop scale, and it's not very, I don't know, I'm not sure if I agree with this term, just like Barry Harris, because it really depends where you play. You can place it anywhere, this chromatic note, to create a bebop scale. It's just, you want your, in 16th note grid, you want first and third 16th note to carry the strong chord tones, or in 8th notes the same basically. So in swing, if you play a line, you want to have on your downbeats to have strong notes. So exactly like 1, 3, 5, 7 if possible, or sometimes 9 or 6. But yeah, let's go back, listen to this line again, and then I want you to pay attention to this line here, because he comes out of this long 16th note runs, and so this has such a good effect, this this line here. So let's go back here and listen to this. Okay, now. Did you hear how groovy those 8 notes sound? Because he's playing together with Federico, who's playing chords like in this like in this matter. So it just sounds so great. Yeah, let's continue. Changing the rhythm, playing these triplets. That's so good. Like, I really like how he's like with Hadrien Feraud. In my opinion, there's so many things that are impressive. Many people are impressed by his technique skills, but my biggest impression that he makes on me is with his use of different rhythms and how his lines sound so good. Like if you slow them down, they sound like they sound equally good, right? So they don't just like, sometimes if you play really fast, you can a little bit mask what you play, but he's playing with an insane accuracy. It's just like everything is on point, it seems, and he rarely makes like any mistakes. And you need to know that like this is from a jam, so he doesn't care if it's like played wrong. It's not like a record where you want to play a perfect take or perfect solo, right? And here it's just like just chilling and having fun, and he just plays amazing. So yeah, let's just give a listen again to this run here. And again, he's using this blues scale, blues major blues scale. So something that I realized in his playing is melodic minor scale. He's using a lot harmonic minor scale there that you saw, and then this blues, major blues scale. He's a big fan of, and he really plays it well and just sounds really nice. So yeah, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. As I said before, over on my Patreon, you can access these transcriptions, and I'm gonna make a separate video for this chords that you can play, like Federico, because they're really nice voicings. And yeah, stay safe and practice.